Hello, everyone. My name is Julio, and today I'll be presenting a risk analysis using network graphs. I'll be covering our data sets, network number two and network number three, and discussing their robustness, potential vulnerabilities, and recommending improvements for the customer. Getting started with network number two data set, this network is relatively fragile due to its complexity. Many nodes we see are very interconnected, and some act as a critical bridge for communication between others. In this dataset, if one node were to be compromised by malware, especially these two nodes that we see in bright red, Spectre and Stealth, it could disrupt the entire network and communication would likely stop. In addition to this, troubleshooting a data set like this would be tedious due to the poor organization of relationships. So, to the client, I would recommend to streamline the network as much as possible and to reduce dependency on the high risk nodes. In addition to those two very bright red ones, we see some other ones that are heading towards that direction. And eliminating this unnecessary communication and unnecessary loops would minimize these vulnerabilities. If we continue on to network number three, we see that the organization here is noticeably different from network number two. The relationships are very streamlined and very linear, and this makes the network much more robust. The main connection points are Nebula and Starhawk that we see in red in the middle, and these are acting as a communication hub. And if malware were to hit any of these nodes, especially some of these on the outside, it would be less likely to affect the entire network. And if it did, troubleshooting would be much easier as the organization of the data set helps identify issues quickly. However, dependency on Nebula and Starhawk make them very critical for the system to work properly. So I would recommend the client to invest in enhanced cybersecurity for these nodes and also having a backup system to serve as a bridge for communication during downtime or maintenance in these nodes. Now, if we were to compare both networks, the difference in organization is very clear. For network number two, again, streamlining communication and reducing unnecessary loops would lower all these risks and help to speed up troubleshooting. For network number three, I really appreciate its organization, but the heavy reliance on the two key nodes is a big concern. So, strengthening cybersecurity for those nodes and having a backup would help reduce the risk of system failure. Thank you all for listening to my interpretation of the data sets, and I look forward to your feedback and any questions you may have.